Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to the showdown between Grand Cathay and SLAANESH here on the Lost Temple of Sotek, and it looks like it's going to be a Cathay land battle box facing off against SLAANESH, who's going to be going wide with a bunch of Slan Gores, Jim Carrey, who's incredibly good in this matchup, having that Mortis engine is very, very nice, and the Champions of SLAANESH on the far side as well. So Champions of SLAANESH, very good infantry killing power, and honestly with their stat line of 64 and 67, probably will be able to dominate most Cathay cavalry as well as crowmen, so a very dangerous asset. What they would be weak against probably would be halberds and sustained combat, as well as a little bit of shooting. So the problem is on this map, though, shooting is very difficult. It's a very terrain-heavy map, a lot of woods, a lot of trees, so cannons are going to be very tough to utilize. So let's go ahead and break it down for the Cathay army here. It is going to be Yuan Bo, the Jade Dragon, and he is not the worst choice here. I mean, if you're expecting the mask, Yuan Bo should be able to dominate the mask in combat and does also have the executioner ability, so you can maybe get that karate chop. And I think the only spell we have, let's see, no magic on Yuan Bo. Okay, it's going to be a Heaven's Caster with Wind Blast and a Metal Caster with Final Transmutation. Honestly, pretty good. If SLAANESH commits to trying to break your box, for example, you can punish them, and it has good sniping for the mask and good wind blasting to go after the other units. Now, the hard thing for Grand Cathay, if this was, of course, a format where they could just stay in one place, they'd be in a much better position. But here they have to contest the battlefield a little bit, and SLAANESH is very, very good at that. So, Slangor, Shadowcaster with Pendulum. Really, really nice. Pendulum's going to be excellent against this box. And Slangors will probably be able to beat a Jade Warrior Halberd in combat, but with the support of the War Drum, I think that would turn the tide to maybe give the Jade Warrior the fight in the long run. So we'll see. And they have Harmony too. So if Jade Warriors are harmonious and have the drum, I think they win against a Slangor, but otherwise it's tricky. So the Graces of Kuai Yin being called in. These are the Arwar Celestial Crossbows. They do magic damage, which is very, very relevant in this matchup here. And I suspect we're going to need a little bit of fast forwarding, because I think there's going to be some posturing as the first Pendulum's going to be going down here on the Dune Dragons, which is the Arwar Celestial Dragon Guard. And they're great. They do magic damage and are pretty stalwart, so I like that here. They didn't lose any models, just HP. If they had a little bit of a regrowth or Earthblood there, that'd be very nice for them, but they do not. So, fast forwarding time. We do see Grand Cathay moving up and getting ready to march on their opponent's objective here, and it looks like they're going to be going to the outside, thinking about it a little bit, just kind of teasing here. And we do see the Mark of Yin. So this thing did get marked by the Arwar crossbows, but of course, wisely, Pope Patty is going to be able to pull back here. So all is calm, and what would be the right play in this situation? You know, because if you go for SLAANESH's home objective here, it's very tricky, because then they can pop out of the trees and ninja yours, and they could basically avoid engaging you. I think you need to create, get enough, tanky reserves out that you can leave some stuff back on objective 1 before pushing. I don't know which one would be the right way to go, though. Probably objective 2, although that is a little bit closer to the enemy reinforcements. Honestly, this isn't easy. And this is one of the reasons why in this matchup you often see Grand Cathay having a chance at winning, and historically has done well, not well, but decent against SLAANESH by using the blimps. So, for example, you set up 2 or 3 blimps on your home objective, move over here, and then if they come to steal your objective, you can at least punish them on value, right? That's kind of the game plan with that. We do see a couple of Hellstriders working in the wings as the Pendulums are active and are getting some pretty good damage. On the side, Crowmen are a hard counter against Hellstriders. Hellstriders get obliterated by Crowmen. Honestly, just do terribly. 24 and 26 with 15 armor, and they rely on their bonus versus large and their charge bonus. So if the Crowmen are able to get the jump on them, they're going to get the business pretty badly. So very, very cautious stare down from these players. I think Grand Cathay is kind of waiting to get enough call-ins so that they can push, and it looks like right now we might get a Crowmen attempt over here on this side, where Hellstrider's being called out. But the problem is the Slangors are going to be very good against these guys as well. What would be very strong here, it would honestly be one of the strongest things against this composition, would be Jade Lancers with Crowmen. Because Jade Lancers will be able to beat Slangors, and then the Crowmen would rip apart the Hellstriders. And that combination of units would be very, very strong. Alright, so Grand Cathay moving off the objective a little bit, and trying to park between the 2 points, and it looks like SLAANESH might go for the Alpha Strike here. As far as this goes, we do see the Peasant Horsemen and the Crowmen ripping and tearing, and Long Riders are basically the same. Okay, very, very good call here by Ricochet, because these bad boys are armored. They're going to be able to dominate these Slangors in combat, basically taking no damage in the process, but with the Hellstriders coming in, as well as the Demonettes of SLAANESH, both of which have good tools against big targets, could get a little bit scary. So now the main fighting has begun. Yep, we do see the Pleasure Guard moving in, and it looks like it is going to be the Vigor Drain Aura activated instead of the Mortis Engine, which I think the Mortis Engine would be better here. There's a bunch of Celestial Dragon Guard, or at least a couple of them, and a bunch of Jade Warriors and the Crossbows back there. But the Champions of SLAANESH getting nailed by Final Transmutation, and just like we talked about earlier, oh, that's so good. And it gets the Allurus as well, and the Mask down to half health. That's a really, really good one for Cathay, but are they going to be punished for moving up the objectives and basically just get stuffed back in the locker, right? That's one of the big issues you run into with Grand Cathay. So Jade Warrior is grinding well. The Zhangu War Drum is very, very good here, giving a melee attack buff. We have the Harmony active here, and the forces of Grand Cathay are cooking pretty well, as the Yuan Bo really probably should have brought a net. He does have the net ability, and that'd be super nice for catching out the mask and potentially getting a kill. The champions of SLAANESH, the Pleasure Guard, kind of getting punched right in the dongus, right in the old trouser snake. And yeah, they're just getting ground down by halberds and peasants, and you can see really having a terrible time. Even the humble peasant of Grand Cathay here, performing quite well in this fight. Now we do see some Demonettes being moved in. Exalted Demonettes are tough, but the mask is a little bit overextended, potentially going to be taking some damage from Yuan Bo here. And does he make contact? Looks like the mask is able to get away. Wind Blast activated, but that was a misplay. It was used on 2 Forsaken. Should have been used on the Exalted Demonettes. That would have been a much better target. But obviously it's a very hectic situation, as we do see some Long Riders coming back out. I would imagine they'll be cycle charging into the SLAANESH. And can Grand Cathay's box endure? One thing that could help them win this is another Final Transmutation. So that's going to be coming in right now. That's going to be nailing the mask once again. Probably won't be overcasted, but that's just so good. I mean, it's hitting everything, and that's going to give Cathay a really, really big value lead, as we do see the mask of SLAANESH getting dominated by Yuan Bo in combat, which, you know, is the case. She's a great fighter, but this thing's basically a dragon homie, so he's got a lot higher HP and has pretty damn good stats and magic damage to boot. So Crowmen going after the mask. Looks like the Dance of Dreaming is active, so that's the one that's going to be the Mortis engine. And Grand Cathay is really starting to punish this SLAANESH army, but are they going to be able to do it quick enough? They did move off the objective, I guess, which lured SLAANESH into the fight, but is that a mistake? You know, maybe they should have left some stuff on the point to hold it a little bit longer, or maybe been slightly more positioned on the objective. Hard to say here, but the mask here getting very, very low. The Jade Dragon is going to be hunting, as we do see the Crowmen hunting down the mask as well. Crowmen are very quick and can certainly make contact. The mask is shaken and stirred, as the Exalted Demonettes are going to be coming over to help, and that's very good. Good micro there by the Pope. The Demonettes will be able to annihilate those Crowmen. They hit very, very hard. The Exalted Demonettes are one of the killer units in the entire game. And Grand Cathay is getting a little bit of ground back. Jade Lancers and Long Riders are helping to clear out the SLAANESH over time. And the Zhangu War Drum is just giving such a stat line buff, as we do see the mask of SLAANESH wavering and looking very, very rough here. Now, the Jade Dragon, not going Dragon form. You know, would it be better to go Dragon form here and just get like a big beastie to kind of bully some of these units? I mean, SLAANESH is immune to terror. They are not going to care about that at all, so that's not really too much of a variable here. But we see about 1,200 points coming in. A couple halberds going to be heading up to Objective 3. Looks like they're going for the home objective of SLAANESH. Well, this is good. 2 Jade Warriors to invest in Objective 3, and then sending these units to the harder to claim position is going to be nice. So Jim Carrey did escape, and that's going to make this much, much harder here, as the Exalted Demonettes are being torn up here in the back by the Jade Dragon, the Alchemist, and it looks like Crowmen are going to be helping out against Seekers of SLAANESH as well. Now, big value lead for Grand Cathay, but man, oh man, Cathay is really, really bad at taking objectives. They certainly are good at those kind of box positional fights like this, and on open field maps with like cannons. They can do some very cool builds with like their crane gunners as well as cannons, and blimps I think are very, very good in this matchup as well. But here comes the Jade Warriors, going to be hustling here, and they really need to get there to stop the bleeding. That's going to be very, very important. And the second unit's going to be arriving. Forsaken here should be losing the fight. The Jade Warrior Halberds, quite stalwart, do have decent AP values and high numbers compared to the remnants of these Forsaken here. So the Forsaken going to get prison shanked down by the Jade Warriors, and that should allow Cathay to get that objective. And they've also claimed their home point as well, so now they have a little bit of a cushion. They are about to stop the bleeding. That one is going to be flipping any second, and they're probably going to want to get these Jade Warriors and start marching towards SLAANESH's home point. Good Wind Blast there. The mask sitting at about 1,100 HP, and we do see the remnants of the Exalted Demonettes getting charged by the Jade Lancers. And that is going to be a trample, trample, trample as the birds come in, and they're going to need to break this position, which is not going to be easy. I really think Yuan Bo needs to go Dragon form now. Get in there and use his mask to just snipe the mask. In Dragon form, that'd be a very easy kill. Sure, he's a little bit more vulnerable against the Hellstriders, but there's no reason not to go Dragon form right now. Absolutely no reason. So the drama is giving a nice buff here, but SLAANESH is very, very hard to push. Celestial Dragon Guard going to be gathering here, and these guys all need to hustle towards that back point now. These Halberds, these Jade Warriors, everybody needs to go over there, else it's going to be a loss right now, like all three of them. And then you could use Crowmen and or Peasant Horsemen and Jade Lancers to defend Objective 3, because this is not going to be quick. SLAANESH is reasonably tough to break. I mean, you think Nurgle positions are hard to shift. SLAANESH, because of their ITP and their Phys-Res, is very, very tough. I think like the Mark of SLAANESH should have something that makes him a little bit squishier, maybe like less HP. You know, Mark of Khorne and Nurgle have downsides. Mark of SLAANESH has only upsides, and I think it'd be cool to have it. Maybe like the SLAANESH units get like 10% less HP or something. You know, just something like that, because that can make the difference in a game like this, right? So it's going to be pretty hard here. A couple of misplays by Ricochet, honestly, a pretty winnable game. Not sending the Jade Warrior and the Halberd to the back objective, and then also not transforming into Dragon form like 2 minutes ago and just killing the mask. is a colossal mistake. And I think it's going to end up costing them because now they just aren't going to have the punching power to get through these demonettes back here. The dragon's coming in, but the mask is there, and we do see the crowmen as well as the drums getting some work done. And look at that. As soon as you go dragon form, boom, the mask is dead. Just like dead within a matter of like 30 seconds. Horsemen on their way in. Demonettes, though, are going to make very, very good work of these guys. And now we see the Jade Warriors. So all the things we suggested, obviously it's easy for us. We're not in the heat of a game microing units. It's easy for us to see that, but all the things we kind of recommended here are now being done. The Jade Warriors to come in the dragon form is coming. They needed to happen a little bit earlier to not make this so sketchy. However, let's look at the capture weight situation. So it looks like Grand Cathay does have the capture weight. We do see Jade Warriors move again. The dragon's coming as well. Jianghu War Drum is on its way in. A couple Forsaken, you got to watch out. They couldn't enter the back objective, but there are some halberds coming up which are going to remedy that. And here comes the Dragon Man. Definitely want to get him on the Demonettes if possible. So here comes the halberds and these bad boys and some peasant horsemen coming in as well. And Slangor is getting folded here as we do see a Wind Blast activated. Really, really nice one there. That was a great play by Ricochet. As the capture weight does start to flip, but it isn't going to be quick enough. He does have a pretty substantial advantage in the capture weight, but he only has about 10 seconds left. And it's flipping, and the drum's going to be coming in, giving a little bit of a capture weight advantage as well. And oh god, he's going to lose by like 1 second, isn't he? Oh no. Oh, that feels so bad, dude. Oh, he lost by like 1 second. But, you know, like, that was a very winnable game. He played super well. Let's give a shout out to our boy Ricochet. He played against a meta terror faction being played by a very good player. And was able to really get it to the point where he was in a winning position, but just a couple seconds of delay on reactions, 30 seconds of not sending those units to the back objective, and then also not going dragon form to kill the mask like a minute or two earlier, he probably could have won that game pretty comfortably. So cool to see that there's, some tech against SLAANESH, and it worked reasonably well, but it also only worked because of the map. If that had been a bigger map, it would have been a disaster for this Cathay army. They would have just gotten ping-ponged around the objectives and ignored, basically. But on that map, a little bit closer quarters, everything was kind of small. It worked out. So, GG well played. Obviously, the match did pretty good, 1700, but kind of got sniped out by the dragon. Yuan Bo is a sick tech. I didn't hate that. That was very fun. So, GG well played, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. I like the Exalted Demonettes a lot. They were a big carry at 1900 value. They're really good. If they're not getting focused by missiles, man, they're just a menace. All right, guys. See you around. Take care of yourselves. Well played to Ricochet and Pope Patty. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for tonight.